We are AI. You can see us there. We are the AI.
Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and an eye on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, my team and I, we do our best to bring you trending stories that are shaping the world that we live in. We begin today with some not so good news, where it was a dramatic night in Lagos as NDLEA operatives stormed Proxy nightclub in Victoria Island, arresting socialite and club owner Pretty Mike and former Niger housemate Toye Ide, and also more than 100 guests during a midnight raid. Now, according to the agency, this operation, which took place at about 3 a.m., followed credible intelligence, and cartons of banned substances, including marijuana and laughing gas, were recovered from the venue. The NDLEA now says that the swoop is part of its wider crackdown on illicit substance use in nightlife spots across major cities in Nigeria. Toyo from Big Brother took to his Instagram shortly after his release, lamenting what he called a traumatic experience. As usual, online opinions are divided. Some say that it's a needed cleanup of Lagos's nightlife, while others say it's becoming a show of force. But let's take a look at what you have to say about this on social media. The Truth says, this is a targeted raiding. If NDLEA truly want to fight the use of drugs in clubs, then other clubs should be raided too. This is selective justice and it's a crime. And S-Band Real Estate says, actions have consequences. When nightlife becomes a cover for drug trade, it stops being entertainment and turns into a social menace. Team, this is very interesting. The video of this arrest trended all throughout the weekend. I want to point out, I want to come from this angle, you know, nightlife is a viable and tangible global export. People come in every year, you know, for Dirty December. There's a chance for people to make money. On the other hand, if it could be a cover for, you know, illicit drugs and illicit substances and pushing of these substances, where is the middle ground, do you think, Etoma?
Well, the cover of night is a temptation for a lot of illicit things to happen. And for that person that says that it's a targeted operation, I mean, NDLEA has to start somewhere. So they started there. And to you, it's a traumatic experience. That's funny. Yes, it's actually a traumatic experience for you because you have a name to take care of, to protect. You have a brand to build. You would have thought of that too. For me, it is good that NDLEA has started. I hope they don't stop there. They continue with other nightclubs, especially on the island.
Exactly, Etoma, especially on the island, this particular island that we are. You know, I support the NDLEA, if you ask me, although Pretty Mike is a very good friend, but I support the NDLEA. This is a fantastic one. We need to cover out all these things because it's not, Proxy is not the only club that this happens. It happens in club day in, day out. Every Friday this happens. So as NDLEA can go, get all these people, put them out, it will help to teach people that, you know, a club is to go and enjoy yourself, listen to music. All I mean, just like how it's done, listen to music, dance. When you are tired, go home. Which one is not these hard drugs that have been, you know, sold and shared in the club? NDLEA, fantastic job. I want to see you raid more clubs, actually.
Give it to NDLEA any day, any time. Every Sunday, they always give us that dossier of what they've done, people they've arrested in the airport. You know, now this time around, it's at the club. So regardless of who you are, whatever name you are, whether it's celebrity or anything, as long as you found yourself in a place where they're doing drugs, they're doing things that the country is against, the law is against, then you are also a culprit, you are complicit, you know, in that kind of trade. So it's good that they're doing that, and I'll also urge them to do more, because when we talk, we say nightlife. Well, there's a way we describe nightlife, but you know, it's another economy that they are pushing. But we have to always make sure whatever we do during the dead of the night is right. But I wonder how.
Absolutely, I'm not going to fault NDLEA for doing their jobs. Thank you so much for your input, team. Moving on, there is tension in Shoki, Lagos State after demolition teams reportedly returned to the Ojulari community late Saturday evening, tearing down homes throughout the night. Now, eyewitnesses say that 2 bulldozers and dozens of police officers were deployed, with tear gas fired as residents resisted. And by dawn, much of the area was flattened. Some residents are now accusing the Oba of Shoki of backing the demolitions in order to reclaim waterfront land, a claim that he vehemently denies. The Bale of Shoki also says that the operation wasn't government approved, raising questions over who ordered the demolition. Meanwhile, a victims coalition has now criticized a Lagos state compensation exercise, calling it selective because only 79 out of more than 10,000 residents that were displaced were reportedly received payment and compensation. It's very sad to see people, their homes being demolished at 2, 3 a.m. This is unacceptable, but we spoke about urban planning earlier on and the importance of urban planning, and so there has to be a middle ground. Let's take a look at social media. The selfless Adeyemi had this to say. She says, this is definitely illegal. Make sure that those operating the equipment are held accountable so they can provide who authorized them to carry out the demolition and then proceed to sue them. And Femi says, a Lagos for all policy is not just a concept, but a necessity for a city that prides itself on being the giant of Africa. The poor deserve protection and affordable housing, not demolition and displacement. That was very profound, I must say, Femi. Team, I'm coming to you now. Oftentimes we've discussed the importance of urban planning. We've seen that there are many buildings that are sitting on pipelines, on, important drainage systems. And so as a result of that, the Lagos state government, in line with environmental protection laws and safety laws, have had to demolish or take off these buildings. The question now remains the manner in which they are doing it. They did it at the dead of night, and apparently about 10,000 residents were affected, but only 79 of them received compensation. So people are not talking against the law. They're talking about the manner in which the law is being implemented here.
Exactly, and that's where I want to highlight on too. But before then, I need us to understand that waterfront property is prime property anywhere in the world. In other climes, waterfront property are used for beautiful buildings, high-level real estate and so on. But in Nigeria, you find slums there. Now, for demolition like that to have happened, I'm sure they must have given them eviction notice over time. They must have given and given and given. But when you want to demolish, why do it in the night? It's as if you want the people to suffer. That's why you did it in the night. Because you check out the confusion. Where do I go from here? And so on and so forth. And you are doing it in the night. Now, talking about the compensation, most of the people that were displaced are tenants, and maybe it's 79 landlords that have the right documentation to claim that compensation. Yes, it might be a correct exercise, but done very, very badly.
You may hate me for this, but trust me, Etoma, no matter the time that they did it, people will have complained, and the thing is that it's done, no matter whether it was in the morning or in the midnight. My only problem is sometimes these people are told these things and they do not listen until government takes action. And this is not me speaking for the government, but one too many times they are warned, they are told. They do not do anything until it finally happens. Then they say, oh, the government has done it again. We're trying to make Lagos better. We want a better Lagos. And for Lagos to be better, we need to do this. So I'm just going to go the hard way with this. I'm hoping that everybody will get, their compensation by the grace of God. But this had to be done. Sometimes tough decisions need to be taken, and that's why government will take those decisions. We hate them for it, but they have to be taken. And trust me, Olamide, I would not be surprised that these people have been told times without number. There are people that they tell them, we'll demolish you, we'll demolish you. They are still there, very adamant. You want a better Lagos. How do you want a better Lagos when you yourself don't want better for yourself? So I'm not going to fault the government for anything. If this is for Lagos to be better, then they should go ahead, please.
Yeah, talking about better Lagos sounds so good, sounds so nice, lofty, but then at the end of, at the expense of whom? Are we gentrifying, that area, or maybe expanding our gentrification, drive at the expense of those who are not well-to-do, those who are not able to afford, even living or a shelter above themselves? It's part of the Abraham Maslow's, hierarchy of needs. Shelter is very, very key. Security is very, very key. So if the government is doing this, then how much are we doing in terms of rent? How much are we doing in terms of buildings? How much are we doing in terms of, what's it called? Low housing units, low cost, what do we call it? Low housing units, that the government is doing. So I'm not saying that Lagos State should not develop. It's our pride. When we, when we talk about Lagos, everybody wants to live in Lagos, but sometimes we must come to that reality that Lagos does not belong to everybody. So we might always, look for, means of survival elsewhere. But whatever the government is doing, please always make it people-centric.
Absolutely, and I have to say, Tim, what makes this very complicated is the optics of this. You have people who are have-nots, who are living in conditions of poverty, and then you are now, it seems as though you are prioritizing luxury waterfront, water view homes, and high-end clientele over their welfare, and the optics of that are not great and unfair, but we'll see how it plays out.
But Olamide, if we want a better Lagos, these are decisions that have to be taken. The hard decisions have to be taken. If we want people to come and look at Lagos and say, oh, Lagos is so beautiful, you know, like other countries, these are the decisions. Sorry,
that should not come, you know, in a
I know that the government is doing something to reward them, to compensate them. I know about that.
Thank you so much for your team. I'll be following this story very closely.
Please do.
Moving on in entertainment on a lighter note, it was a red carpet moment that nobody saw coming at the Lagos premiere of Yoruba actress Adebimpe Oyebade's new film, Healing. In a now viral video, two overexcited fans lifted the actress, popularly known as Mobimpe, right off the ground, and it all happened in the presence of her husband, Dogu, actor Lateef Adedimeji. Now, Lateef's stunned expression quickly became the highlight of the night, but he was very professional. He handled it with a lot of humor, raising his hand, telling them to drop his wife. But social media took it very personally. Some people called it harmless fun, but others were saying that they went too far. How can you carry a man's wife in front of him like that? Let's take a look at social media. Bashir K says, this is utterly inappropriate on every level. That guy needs to be called to order. You don't handle another man's wife that way. In his presence or absence, it's indecent and reeks of disrespect. Boundaries exist for a reason. No matter how close you are, familiarity should never breed foolishness. There's a thin line between friendliness and insult, and he just crossed it shamelessly. And Godwin Nwachukwu says, I don't care how close we are, but if you are not my brother and you lift my wife like this, you and I will have a candid conversation. And by the special grace of God, you will live with a broken nose and dislocated joints. See, this is very interesting.
We don't support violence.
Can we just touch on this quickly, because there's very serious matters to get to. But I mean, people took it very personal. It sparked a whole debate about right and wrong in marriage and boundaries. They're talking about they're lifting up your wife in a party. What are you going to do?
Boy. I will stop being a gentleman, you know. How dare you lift my wife? For what? What am I there for? You know, I understand the excitement, the happiness and all that, but there are things you just don't do. Marriage is a very fragile thread. There are things you do that will just break it completely for no good reason. So, yes, I support whoever says this is completely wrong.
Very quickly, guys.
Well, let's see how the husband takes it. But, of course, I think this is crossing the boundary. When I finally get married, you know, you can't even go close to my husband. You greet him from afar. You greet me, and then I'll tell him. So that's how protective I will be. Why are you laughing? It's true. I will send your greetings to him. I think that this was overboard, but I don't think the husband took it that way. But you know how social media can be.
Oh, yes, single ladies, Ria is already warning you.
Oh, yes.
Well, for me, I think I won't take it. I won't take it lightly. I'll take it very personally. It is very wrong. Look at the way you were shaking her. You could even break her back that way. What kind of person? Well, that's why they call them fans. That's why they call them fans. Fans are fan. They're supposed to be fanatics, so they actually display that character of being a fan. But it is not gentlemanly at all.
It's not right at all.
I don't think so.
Oh God, men and just laying ownership over things.
No, but I will lay ownership. So I'm telling you that you can't go close to my man.
It's okay, you people. Me, I'm single. Let's calm down. Still in the world of entertainment, Nollywood star Regina Daniels is back in the headlines, this time for unveiling her new home in Lagos State. Now, in a post that got everyone talking, the actress shared photos of her new residence with the caption, "In my house, I am a queen. I needed a roof over my head, so I got this for me and my family." Now, recall that this move comes just days after reports of marital tension with her husband, Senator Ned Nwoko. Regina had accused him of domestic violence while he alleged drug use and urged her to seek rehabilitation. It is a stunning twist for a pair that we all saw as a symbol of Nollywood glamour and political prestige. Amidst all this controversy, Regina also appeared cheerful in a video over the weekend aboard a private jet. She was seen without her wedding ring, although later she was spotted with her co-wife Layla. For now, she says that she's focused on moving forward and reclaiming her space. I always say these ladies, invest in property if you can. Let's take a look at social media. Wells of X Street says she needs to be investigated. She was obviously manipulating Ned from the get-go with all that drama. She would just tell us, say marriage don't tire her. Welcome to the streets and congratulations on your new home. And OCCA says, make better preparations this time. At least she can now say, in my house, I am a queen, and it will truly be her house. Team, over the weekend, this whole thing trended. In my house, I'm a queen, but in Neduwoko's house, I am nothing. It's good to see that she's showing more agency in terms of, you know, having her own property. I don't know if she owned it or if she rented it. But to play devil's advocate here, do you think that this is, you know, to prove a point? Because a lot of people were saying that she didn't have any assets in her marriage. And if her marriage is fine, then why is she moving into this house with her family?
Oh, these things are so personal. I'm not really comfortable talking about it. Congratulations for owning a home. You know, the matrix between you, your marriage, your husband, and so on, no-go area for me.
Etoma, they dragged us into it, if you recall.
But Etoma, I know why Etoma is saying that, so that when they said to do not say, what were you saying? Etoma, I understand you there. But let me pick up, because me, I will speak. Because they put us in it, so me, I will speak without fear. So, Ibrahim, is the way you're arranging your quotes for what I want to say. So, Olamide, with this issue, I'm happy with Regina because I always say as a woman, you need to be financially strong as well, just in case anything happens. And I remember my mom always tells me, even when you get into a marriage, make sure that you have your own, because anything can happen. Human beings can change. I'm happy that she's taking that bold step to, even if they come back together, that's her prerogative. Of course, I don't support violence. And if that violence is happening, I don't think she should go back. But if she chooses to go back, I'm happy that she still has a house. Another thing that I love is the family. Regina's brother is doing an amazing job. I love the way he's standing by his sister. You know, her sister also posted more pictures of, you know, alleged violence in the house. And if that's really happening, then I'm happy that she has picked up her pieces and, you know, she has a house now with her family. I'm just wishing Regina all the best. We love her in Nigeria. We'll continue to support her, and I wish her all the best, basically. Well, it's a good thing to have a home, a roof above your head. So I say congratulations, Regina. Congratulations, Neduwoko. Congratulations to both families. To Ned as well. Etoma and Ibrahim, you are making me and Ria feel like we're gossiping. What's going on? We're just doing our job. No, personal issues do not really interest me. But they brought us into the on social media. Me, I'm not an online in-law. Thank you so much for your input anyway.